If you think Selenium just opens the browser and clicks button, you are only seeing the surface. In the next few minutes, we will uncover exactly how Selenium works behind the scene, the architecture, the client-server magic, and how your code actually talks to the browser. So let's break it down. Hello and welcome everyone to the new YouTube video. In this video, we are going to talk about the topics which are there in your screen, and I swear if you stay till the end of this video, I'll make you an expert in no time. So what we are going to learn in this video, we are going to learn about the exact what is Selenium architecture, how it is working behind the scenes, what are the core components of an architecture and how they are connected to each other. We are going to learn in a flow diagram. I will show you how the request and response flow actually work, and in a simple table I will summarize all the things that we have learned in this video so that you have a good revision and you are ready for the interview as well as your coding classes. Alright, so let me tell you before we start, this video is part of a Selenium playlist in which you can find the entire and learn the entire Selenium from a beginner to an advanced level. So I recommend you to visit the playlist and start watching all the videos and you will be an expert in no time. So what is a Selenium architecture first of all? At its core, Selenium architecture is just a client-server design. Unlike every other architecture, first of all we will learn what is an architecture. So basically architecture is nothing, it's just a simple client and server design. What do we call as a client? Client is someone who interacts with the system, like you and I. We are client. And what is server? Server is basically the computer where the backend things and everything are stored. So how the client, how we interact with the computer and how the things happen, that is what called as architecture, and that is what we are going to learn in this architecture video. So what is the key idea? Selenium is just not one tool. I have already explained you this in our previous video where I have explained what is Selenium. It's just not a tool, it's a suite. So basically it's a framework. It's not a tool, it's a framework which combines multiple tools, multiple languages, and then combining them we get a new framework. It's a protocol basically. Now these three are the major part of Selenium, what we call as Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. But now we don't need to learn Selenium IDE, as Selenium IDE is just for very beginners and we don't use it in the industry. So just for example, you can see a simple record and playback tool good for beginner. So it's nothing related to code, it's just in drag and drop system. Okay, so you go to Selenium IDE, you drag and drop and you can automate the system whatever you want. So this will have certain limitation, right? If you are doing drag and drop, if you're not writing code, obviously it will have certain limitations. So that's why it's just good for beginners. But when we go to industry, when we go to interviews, we don't need this. What we need is Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid, and these two are the most important part of this architecture. Okay, we will understand Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid in detail. So what is Selenium WebDriver? First of all, Selenium WebDriver is just a real powerhouse. It lets you write code and it lets you control the browser. Okay, so simply understand, you are here. This is your computer. Okay, this is your computer. You are writing certain code here. Okay, the code is in Selenium. Okay, now what will happen? This code has to interact with a web browser or with another browser so that browser can control the website. So basically here is your web browser, for example Google Chrome. Okay, now what Google Chrome will do, under Google Chrome you will open certain website in which you want to do the automation. For example, we are doing an automation on a website called flipkart.com. okay, so we will take the example of Flipkart. So once we are doing the automation of Flipkart, we need the Google Chrome to control the Flipkart website. An example, so this is our Google Chrome. When we click on plus icon, we write here flipkart.com. So who will write this for us? The browser will write this for us. So after writing, you click enter, right? All these things I'm doing it manually right now, but all these things will be done in automation via Selenium. I will teach you how, but you need to have an idea what is happening. You are opening a web browser, you are typing the URL, you are clicking enter, then you are in the website, probably now you will enter the phone number. So everything, whatever it is happening here, who is doing? Our web browser, the Google Chrome. This is responsible for doing all the stuff, all the link URL opening. But now since you are writing your code in Selenium, how it will work? This Selenium basically works on a protocol. Okay, this Selenium works on a protocol, and what it will do, it has a certain bridge in between, and this bridge will convert and talk to the our Google Chrome via a driver. Okay, don't worry if it is not very clear, I will explain more in detail as we go behind. This was just an overall idea what is happening. The Selenium has a bridge in between, and there's a protocol. According to that protocol, it converts the code, and then code can talk to the driver. Okay, I'll tell you how. We'll hold the Selenium grid for a while. So this is the architecture of Selenium WebDriver first of all. So in Selenium, we have two parts, two components. One is the WebDriver and one is the Selenium grid. Before understanding Selenium grid, we are learning WebDriver in detail. So here I told you the overall idea of a WebDriver. Now I will tell you in detail what WebDriver consists of and how it exactly works. So basically the WebDriver consists of three parts. The first part is Selenium client library. The second part is JSON wire protocol, and the third part is the browser driver, right? So as I was telling you, we have a bridge in between over here which converts. This is called as Selenium client library. All right. So what does client library do? The language binding, you write your code test in. So whatever we do is we write the code, and that is our Selenium client library. Now JSON via protocol or W3C WebDriver protocol. This was used earlier. Now we name it as JSON via protocol. What does it say? The standard protocol for sending command between client and browser driver. So it is the standard protocol. What is protocol? Protocol is just a set of rules which the system had to follow to send the command. So when you are sending command from Selenium to the Google Chrome or the driver, we need to have certain set of rules which needs to be followed between them. Alright, that set of rules is called as protocol. And the browser driver, a small server for each browser. So how browser will interact? Browser will not interact directly with Selenium. It has a browser driver in place, right? That browser drivers come and that helps us to go ahead. Now this is the entire flow diagram which you need to understand. You write your test script, for example .click, you write something .click, okay, and then .click, this is sent to Selenium client library. As I told you, what does Selenium client library? This is our Selenium client library. When we write .click over here, it is sent to Selenium client library, and then Selenium client library will convert into with the help of protocol. It will convert, and it will tell the Google Chrome that these actions need to be performed. All right. Then we have the JSON via protocol, right? Then we have browser driver, and then we have the real browser. So how it works? In short, you write a test script, okay? The client library translates your command into a JSON HTTP request. This is the translation part. It will translate your command into an HTTP request. The browser driver is like a middleman. As I told you, this is our middleman. Okay, this is our middleman. You can call it a browser driver or a browser. Let's call it a browser driver for now, and this will be our browser which will execute the Flipkart. So what browser driver will do, it will receive all the commands from the client library. Okay, so the driver will receive the commands, and it controls the real browser, because real browser is nothing, it's just a browser driver, and it will control everything. The browser send back the response to driver, client, and to your code. So basically the most important part of your architecture is your browser driver. So what browser driver will do, browser driver will receive the command from the client, it will control the browser, and it will tell the browser to do certain stuff, and then it will get back the command, the output from the browser again, and again it will send back to the client. So this is the exact heart of our architecture. All right, cool. So how it exactly work, you write .click, then the JSON is sent over to an HTTP to browser driver using locally. What browser driver will do, know how to talk to the real browser using browser native automation protocol. What browser will do, it will execute the action, then again browser driver will capture the screenshot and it will give back to the client. So you get the response to the client library. So everywhere browser driver is important, that browser driver is receiving the request and it is sending back the response, and this is repeated everywhere. So this is the table of roles and responsibility. Test script, who is the writer? You are the writer. Selenium API, Selenium already gives us with this, you don't need to worry about this. Selenium browser driver, it is the vendor, and Selenium real browser. Okay, these are the examples and these are the roles. You can take a screenshot if you want it. I hope this is clear. If you still have any doubt, you can any day come back to the comment section. I reply to all the comments. And yeah, that's it for this video. In the next video we will learn exactly how to write a Selenium class and how to get it up and running in real time in the code. All right, so see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day. Bye bye, take care.